Got some action today here on the coast. Let's get it. Oh. Consider this a little preview of next week's video. So I have been thinking about redoing this shot here for a while. Last time I shot here, I took a vertical composition, but I think I really want to try and have like the, super ultra wide, 14 millimeters, ultra wide angle look and get a horizontal shot. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Woo! Quite nice. Sun just came out. Starting to get a little bit of light on the mountain. No light on our foreground yet. We just need the waves. Like this one, maybe. Perfect timing. Come on, flow nicely. Yeah, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. So a lot of you wanted a tutorial on how I catch my drones. And it really depends on, of course, the weather. If the wind was howling and crazy, it would have been a lot more difficult to catch the drone. But because today is like really nice and calm, I mean, the water's not calm. It's never calm here with the water, but the wind is super nice and calm. It makes catching the drone actually really, really easy. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna bring the drone in kind of close to this. Hopefully you guys can still hear me with the propellers. But you're gonna back it up to where, it's about just out of arm's length reach, because of course you don't wanna like jump up or have the drone accidentally dip and catch you on the hand and slice your fingers. But what you're gonna do is you're just gonna hold your hand out right below the drone. And then all you have to do is hold down the button to bring the drone down, the left stick. The drone will register your hand as a landing zone, and just as soon as it starts to land, just grab it by the bottom. What you don't want to do is grab the drone like this, because as you can see, my fingers are in line with the propellers. You always want to catch it like this, kind of like with your fingers like that, or you can flatten out your hand and have it just kind of land there. You'll want to protect your fingers at all costs whenever you're catching your drone. Now, the bigger drones from DJI are much easier to catch than the smaller mini drones from DJI, and both products are actually really good drones, but obviously they're different and they have different purposes. So in this video, I want to kind of discuss the pros and cons between each of these drones, or each of these style of drones. and kind of also make the argument on why maybe you should consider having both of these drones in your arsenal. How's that for a smooth intro? It's a nice little spot to kind of grab some shade. Oh, it gets so hot when there's no wind. It's ridiculous. So in this video, we'll be comparing a couple of drones from DJI. The first one being the Mini 4 Pro, and the second one being the DJI Air 3. Now, DJI has already come up with the Air 3S, kind of like the updated version of the Air 3. And by the time you're watching this video, chances are DJI has already came up with an updated version of these drones. There's probably a Mini 5 out by now, and there's probably an Air 4 and an Air 4S coming out as well. So this is more so a video to compare the drone styles, like the Mini style versus the bigger style from like the Mavic, the Air, like the Pro series, that kind of thing. So obviously, first things first, we're going to talk about the design. The Minis have the big advantage of being smaller, lighter, more packable, more convenient to pull out, and easy to use, in my personal opinion. If you get like the ultralight version, it comes in at 249 grams. And with it, this thing being so lightweight and portable, it's seen as more of a toy and more of a gimmick drone, so you don't necessarily have to register it as like a proper drone in certain countries. Now, when you compare it to the bigger Air drones or the Pro drones, the bigger DJI drones, these guys come in at anywhere from like, I think the Air 3 comes in at 1.6 pounds, and I think the weight just goes up more and more from there. But you get a bigger, more robust design. I would say this is like much more suitable for flying in crazy weather, windy weather, because it's bigger, it's gonna handle the wind a little bit better, even though the Mini can handle a little bit of wind. I would definitely trust the bigger drones in those types of environments. But again, because you have a bigger body design, that's gonna come with a size, weight, and cost premium. And the other thing too is battery life. So with the standard batteries on the bigger drones equals generally bigger battery packs equals generally longer flight time. So these drones kind of max out, the bigger drones, I think around 45 minutes. I think this one is like 46 minutes. So a really good long flight time, gives you a lot of flexibility when you're up in the air. The Minis, while they do have an extended battery, if you want to keep things super lightweight and portable, the ultralight battery I think only lasts at like 30 minutes or something like that. So your flight time is a little bit limited if you want the most lightweight solution. You can get slightly bigger batteries and heavier batteries that you can throw in there and extend that battery life up to, I think, 45 minutes or so. So if that's, you know, if flight time is super important to you, then that's definitely something that you should look into with these mini drones, to get those bigger plus batteries. And when it comes to the cameras, the Mini 4 or the Minis usually just have a single wide angle camera. Hopefully with the Mini 5 they come up with a dual camera system, because that'd be a really nice drone. But for now, they've only got the single wide angle lens. It's a 24mm lens right there. So you're limited to that. But the benefit of this guy is because it's only a single lens, it has the ability to turn kind of like this, and you're able to shoot vertical content in 4K. So it's really nice if you're somebody who does a lot of panoramas, likes to do like pan from right to left. You get a nice high resolution shot with that 45 megapixel sensor. It's also nice for like content creators if you want to just grab a quick Instagram clip. It's so easy to just flip the camera over and fly it. You know, frame up your shot with that vertical crop in mind, and you know, it's a lot easier to kind of frame that up. Whereas on the bigger drones, they usually come with kind of like a 2-camera setup nowadays. So on the Air 3, you've got a 24mm wide angle lens, kind of similar to like you have on the Mini. You also get the added benefit of a 70mm telephoto lens. So you've got more flexibility overall for what you're shooting. The fact of the matter is that I guess I would always prefer to have a telephoto lens on there, because you can get some really nice compressed, interesting looking shots. So if I know for a fact that I am going to need that telephoto lens, I'm definitely going to be lugging the extra weight and bringing the Air 3. But for cases where I'm not too sure what type of drone shot I'm going for. I may not even fly the drone whatsoever, but I want to just have it just in case I decide that I need to grab a drone shot. Then the Mini 4 is much more convenient because of that size and weight savings. So it really depends on what type of shoot you're going on. I would say if you're going on a dedicated drone photography shoot, get the bigger drones. But if you're going on something that's maybe a little bit more relaxed and maybe a little bit more run and gun, and where you kind of don't want to have to spend the weight premium to just kind of lug around a drone just in case, or let's say you're hiking and you're trying to be super ultra lightweight, then the Mini is kind of perfect for those types of situations. Pricing is also a big difference. Of course, the smaller Mini drones are going to be cheaper, I think, to just get like the starter pack, like the drone, the small battery, as well as like the standard controller. I think it's like 750 bucks, whereas kind of that same combination on the Air 3 is going to cost you up to like $1,000. I think it's like, right now it's like $1,099. So, you know, of course you're going to be paying a premium for, I guess, more features, more specs, and kind of the bigger body, that kind of thing. All right, so a lot of you guys might be wondering, why on earth do I have both of these guys? Why do I own two drones? Because essentially, the Air 3 is essentially the Mini. It has the same pretty much specs as the Mini, same camera, same wide angle lens, but in a bigger camera body, or a bigger drone body, which kind of is the reason why I got the Mini 4 in the first place. So let me kind of explain kind of my workflow for these guys. If I'm going out to a place where I know that I'm going to fly my drone, like for example, our trip to Capitol Reef National Park and Factory Butte in Utah, I knew that was like a really prime drone location. I made sure that I brought my Air 3 in the suitcase, in my carry-on suitcase, for that one particular shoot. I didn't bring it out on every single shoot, obviously, because we were in national parks. You can't even fly the drone in national parks anyways. But for that one particular shoot at Factory Butte, I knew I wanted the most flexibility, the biggest battery life, basically the best performing drone overall. And that's what made me bring the Air 3 along. But for most other situations, most other trips, like I really would have liked to have this guy when we went to Switzerland, because there was a lot of kind of hikes that we were going on, and they weren't really necessarily like dedicated drone locations, but it would have been nice to kind of grab some B-roll of us walking on the trail with the drone flying overhead. So, you know, kind of a more relaxed travel vacation or a lightweight backpacking trip would be perfect for something like the Mini 4 or the Mini style of drones, because again, they don't take up a whole lot of space. They're really nice, really portable. So yeah, like the cost of not using it is a lot less. It's a lot more easier to kind of justify bringing it but not using it, if that makes sense, because if you're bringing the bigger drone with the size and weight of this thing, you're kind of committed almost to use it. And if you don't use it, you're like, oh my God, I just carried that, you know, whole lot of extra weight for nothing pretty much. So yeah, that's kind of what prompted me to end up getting the Mini 4 Pro. And for situations where I'm going on a long hike, like recently I did a hike with Walt, and I didn't film too much on that vlog. I wanted to kind of film a little bit of this video on that hike, but unfortunately there are people at the top also shooting sunset, so I didn't actually pull out the vlog camera and film anything, but I did bring this drone along and grab some nice B-roll during sunset, so we'll play that footage here. But again, like that hike was, I would say, maybe like 2 miles uphill, like with about 1,500 feet of elevation or so. So I definitely wanted to try and keep things small, lightweight, and portable. And the Mini 4 Pro helped me out a lot in that situation. And I didn't need the 70mm lens either. I kind of just, you know, popped the drone up real fast, grab the shot of, you know, the drone flying by me during sunset, so it worked out and it was perfect for that type of situation. So there was one point in time where I focused a lot on kind of drone photography, kind of like how we did this morning, where you pop the drone up and you fly it far away and you grab an angle, a dedicated photography angle that you can't get otherwise. Or the only other way to get that one particular shot is to be in a helicopter. And while I like those type of shots every now and then, I'm not doing them as much, I would say. I would say I'm focusing a lot more kind of on like land-based events, like astrophotography, like seascapes, and kind of documenting that type of experience. I'm not necessarily you know, I don't feel as attached to the images, to photography images per se, taken on the drone, which is why I'm kind of flying this drone less and less and bringing this drone more and more. But on those times where I do dabble with kind of the dedicated drone photography workflow, then this drone definitely works best. Whereas I kind of see the Mini 4 Pro not necessarily as a photography drone. I see it more of a videography type of drone because of how small, lightweight, and portable it is. It's easy to kind of just pop it up, grab a clip for the vlog, film that, and get that shot. I'm not necessarily using it as a dedicated photography drone. That's kind of where the Air 3 is going to be a little bit better, just because it has the versatility of having both of the wide and the telephoto lens. But yeah, I've been leaning more and more into using this guy as my primary drone, but primarily videography type of drone, if that makes sense. All right, so if I have convinced you that using a dual drone type of workflow for your YouTube, for your photography, for whatever it is that you do, you're gonna want to also consider the types of drones that you're gonna be buying. You wanna buy a drone that's compatible with the same controller. All right, so as you can see right here, I've got the DJI RC2. It's the DJI controller with the screen. Comes with the Fly More combo with the Air 3. I think you can also buy Fly More combos with the Mini and get this type of drone. But what you don't want to do is buy both of these drones and buy the Fly More combo and get two separate controllers for two separate occasions. You want to buy one Fly More combo, usually for the more expensive drone, the bigger drone. And then for your kind of supplementary drone, your mini drone, you're going to want to just buy kind of the standard kit and kind of just not use that controller. But you want to make sure that your Pro controller, the one with the screen, is compatible with both of those drones. So with this DJI RC2, you can fly the Air 3, the Air 3S, the Mini 4 Pro, this guy, as well as the DJI Neo. So yeah, double check all of your controller drone compatibilities, because what you don't want to do is go out and buy like an Air 3 or an Air 3S and then also go out and buy a Mini 3 Pro, because the compatibility with the controllers just isn't there. They use different communication systems from generation to generation. So you want to make sure that you're buying the same drone in the same generation that's compatible with one charger. That way you kind of save a little bit of money. Instead of buying two Fly More combos, you buy one Fly More combo and one of the standard combo without this fancy controller. That way you do save a little bit of money. So yeah, it's an expensive purchase and it is an expensive investment, but I think it's worth it because yeah, having the flexibility of having a dedicated photography drone, like the Air 3, and then also having the flexibility of a lightweight portable option that you can take on your travels, on your hikes, it's definitely something to consider as a serious landscape photographer. And especially if you do YouTube and film behind the scenes content, I think this is this mini drone, butter. It's so good. All right, it's getting bright. I'm gonna head out. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you like this type of content, this travel, vacation, and a little bit of photography education, make sure you hit that like button, comment below, and subscribe if you aren't already. And we'll see you guys in the next video. This thing is so small, I can even do my sign out with it. Peace out.